If you have ever heard the names Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev, two UFC champions who have conquered the world in their respective divisions, then you have probably heard of Dagestan. But Dagestan is more than just the birthplace of two legendary champions. Over the past decade, as Khabib and Islam rose to the top of the global MMA stage, they opened the door for a new generation of fighters from their homeland. One by one, more warriors emerged from the mountains of Dagestan. They came with discipline, they came with strength, and they came with an unbreakable spirit. Soon, the world began to notice. From the mountains of the Caucasus to the biggest arenas in the world, fighters from Dagestan continued to rise, challenge the best, and dominate the global MMA scene. And that is why, today, Dagestan is known around the world by a powerful name, the land of warriors.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Privet. Today, I'd like to talk about a region that is known as the home of some of the best MMA fighters in the world today, the Republic of Dagestan. So, through this video, I'd like to introduce you to the Republic of Dagestan, not only through its wrestling and combat sports, but also through some other interesting facts about its culture, education system, tourist attractions, and traditional food. I will also make a few comparisons, especially when it comes to our cultures and traditions, so we can see some of the similarities and differences between them. I hope this video will give us new insights into one of the most unique regions in the Caucasus. Before we move on to the main discussion, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to the Republic of Dagestan. Dagestan is one of the autonomous republics within the Russian Federation. It is located in the North Caucasus Mountains, specifically along the western coast of the Caspian Sea. So Dagestan is not an independent country. It is still part of the Russian Federation. It is led by the head of the republic, while above that is the president of Russia. The name Dagestan itself comes from Turkish and Persian languages. It means the land of mountains. This name is very suitable because most of the region is covered by beautiful mountains. Although Dagestan is part of Russia, it has its own unique cultural identity, languages, and traditions that are quite different from those found in other parts of Russia. The Republic of Dagestan covers an area of about 50,000 square kilometers, with its capital city called Makashkala. It currently has a population of around 3.3 million people. Although it is not an independent country, the Republic of Dagestan also has its own flag and national anthem. The flag has three colors: green, blue, and red. Red represents loyalty and courage, blue represents the Caspian Sea, and green represents Islam, which is the majority religion in the country. The national anthem of the Republic of Dagestan is called Iyatfa, which means the oath. The people of Dagestan came from a very diverse range of ethnic background. There are more than 30 indigenous ethnic groups living together in this region, including the Afar, Dargin, Kumik, Lesgin, Lak, and Tabasaran people. Because of this great ethnic diversity, the people of Dagestan speak dozens of local languages, in addition to Russian, which is the official language. Although they come from different cultural backgrounds, the majority of the people in Dagestan are Muslims. Therefore, the Islamic values have become one of the important bonds that bring the community together. This reminds me of Indonesia. Our country is also home to hundreds of ethnic groups, and local languages. Although we are different, we are united by our national motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, or Unity in Diversity. Okay, now let's move on to education. Like other regions in Russia, Dagestan follows the Russian national education system. Children usually begin preschool at the age of 3 or 4. They then continue to primary school, lower secondary school, upper secondary school, and finally university. One interesting fact is that public education in Russia is free, including in Dagestan. The government covers the tuition fees, although families still need to pay for personal expenses such as books, stationery, and transportation. This is quite similar to Indonesia, right? Where public schools are also supported by the government.
Rencana saya, kampus-kampus kedokteran, kampus-kampus teknik, dan yang sebagainya nanti dibuka untuk semua anak-anak Indonesia dan mereka tidak boleh bayar, dibayar oleh negara.
However, Indonesian students usually wear a national school uniform, while students in Dagestan generally do not have one standard uniform, but students are expected to dress neatly and modestly. In many Muslim communities, female students also choose to wear a hijab. Schools in Dagestan place great importance on discipline, respect for teachers, and academic responsibility. These are values that are also highly respected in Indonesian schools. Some of the most well-known universities in Dagestan are Dagestan State University, Dagestan State Medical University, and Dagestan State Technical University. Besides public schools, there are also madrasas or Islamic schools, which provide religious education and help preserve Islamic values within the community.
Sebagian besar dari mereka mengenakan jilbab, namun tidak sedikit juga yang menggunakan baju modis ala wanita modern.
Culture is one of Dagestan's greatest treasures. The people of Dagestan highly value family, respect for parents and elders, and hospitality. Guests are always welcomed warmly with tea and traditional food. This is very similar to Indonesian culture, where treating guests with kindness is considered a sign of good manners. One of Dagestan's most famous cultural traditions is the skinka dance. Male dancers perform energetic movements that symbolize courage, strength, and the spirit of an eagle. Meanwhile, female dancers perform smooth and graceful movements that represent beauty, elegance, and dignity. Besides traditional arts, Dagestan is also famous for producing world-class athletes. Names like Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, and Umar Nurmagomedov have made Dagestan famous around the world through wrestling and mixed martial arts, or MMA. Their success reflects the strong supporting culture that has existed in Dagestan for generations. Besides its rich culture, Dagestan also offers spectacular natural scenery. One of the most famous destinations is Durban, one of the eldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. It is home to historic Narinkala Fortress, which has been recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Another breathtaking destination is Sulak Canyon, one of the deepest canyons in Europe, with crystal clear water surrounded by high cliffs. Visitors can also explore the Sarikum Sand Dune, one of the largest sand dunes in Europe, and Gamsul, an abandoned mountain village, often called the Ghost Village of Dagestan. If Indonesia is famous for Raja Ampat, Mount Bromo, and Lake Toba, Dagestan is famous for its mountains, canyons, ancient cities, and unique desert landscape. Each destination reflects the beauty of nature and the rich history of the Caucasus region. Now, let's talk about food. One of the most popular traditional dishes in Dagestan is kinkal. It consists of boiled dough served with meat, broth, and garlic sauce. Another favorite dish is chuduk, a stuffed flatbread filled with meat, cheese, potatoes, or vegetables. It may remind Indonesian people of martabak, although the taste and cooking method are quite different. Since livestock farming is one of the main economic activities in Dagestan, lamb dishes are also very common. In Dagestani culture, offering food and hot tea to guests is a symbol of generosity, friendship, and respect. Today, we have learned that Dagestan is much more than just a region in Russia. It is a land of magnificent mountains, rich history, diverse culture, quality education, breathtaking landscapes, delicious traditional food, and world-class athletes. Although Indonesia and Dagestan are separated by thousands of kilometers, but they share many important values. Both have rich cultural diversity, both have strong family tradition, both have large Muslim communities, and both believe that people from different backgrounds can live together peacefully. As Indonesian, we believe in Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, or unity in diversity. Dagestan teaches us a very similar lesson. Differences should not divide us. Instead, they should become a source of strength, mutual respect, and unity. So I hope this presentation has given you a better understanding of Dagestan and inspired us to appreciate cultures beyond our own. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Spasiba.